first of all, thanks to everyone joining our Ask an Expert session. And what we really want today is to make this one an interactive exchange of thoughts and insights from your end as well. So today I have my team, my expert leads. So I am heading enterprise AI practice from Astreya, and I have my three leads, Karthik, who leads the data engineering function, Rakesh, who leads the consulting function, Vignesh, who leads AI automation functions, and we all four will try to answer all your questions that you have. And just to kick off, we got certain pre-submitted questions from Bala Subramaniam, and I see he has joined the meeting as well. So we'll start with the question he has submitted, and like Lauren mentioned, whoever has additional question, please put that in the chat box so that we can take up and discuss that more. So let me start with the first question that we received. Question is, AI tools and underlying models are evolving rapidly with significant advancement occurring almost weekly. In this dynamic environment, how do you ensure that your projects remain current and leverage the most effective, cost-effective solution available? There is one example given by Bala Subramaniam saying that, for instance, an OCR tool may cost $15 per 100,000 tokens today, but within 6 months, a superior or more affordable alternative could emerge. Well, it's very great question and a very practical problem as well, I would say. So when it comes to delivering practices or solution to your customer, primary driving factor is always what is approved in customer landscape from tools and technology perspective. Now, I'll tell you why I am referring this point. Because practically it is true that there is a high pace in the market where lots of advancement happening from technology perspective, lot of new tools coming up, but not necessary when you are practically implementing in your customer landscape, not necessary that is the same pace you will see in real enterprise ecosystem, because any change to their approved list of technology or a tool mean a lot of change management at their end. So practically what happens is the pace you see outside in the market and the pace in which you change your solution in customer ecosystem, there is a lot of difference, right? However, the success factor here is to make yourself always, to make your solution flexible is you need to have right architecture in place. You need to have right engineering best practices in place so that overall your solution become a lot of flexible, modular in nature, which can be rewritten or can be migrated to newer technology. So I'll take a couple of example that we follow. For example, one of the key design principle that we follow is about API first design and an abstraction layer. What that means really is we always decouple business logic from the underlying AI model. Okay. Which meaning tomorrow, if you want to switch your AI model to something else, it is predominantly configuration change. You just change the API and you are done. You are not really touching the code, right? Similarly, suppose the example you have taken about the OCR tool, you can have in your design, you can have an abstraction layer. In this case, you can call that, say, document reading layer, right? While so tomorrow, if you want to change or you want to use a different OCR tool, or you want to have a different OCR SaaS kind of a solution, again, it is a configuration change, not really code change in your business logic or server side logic, right? That is one. Second, because we are now all talking about AI agents, we definitely use AI agent frameworks, because that gives us a lot of flexibility and modularity, tool integration aspect of it. Additionally, which I really want to highlight is you need to keep one word really in your mind is fit for purpose solution. Meaning, you need to really see the objective of your customer has and the use case you have taken into consideration, and then see whether your current solution is still that is giving you the output which you are expecting. If so, then you may not need a lot of modernization of your current solution. You can still keep the solution you have because it is giving you the expected result. Now, what how you can really measure the health of your solution? We at Astreya, we have more than 10 plus KPIs to measure it. So it is not just a model accuracy is one of the KPI, but there are KPIs like latency, how fast your model gives the output, the cost per interaction or a task. So like that, we have a lot of KPI that we keep monitoring it and see whether my current solution is still fit for purpose or not. Yes, if it is not, then we get into a change mode where we see whether do I have to migrate into new model, do I have to rewrite it or redesign it, and then take it to the design review council of the customer. Okay. Vignesh, do you want to add some real life example, because this is one of the thing we keep on facing when we are doing all the implementation.
Absolutely, yes, Debo. This is because the technology is evolving and we have to adapt ourselves in the evolving technology space so that we remain competitive in the market, right? So, if I want to just go back in the past experience, so this is for one of our customers from the M&E space, right? So they were into open source automation platform, and we deliver our automation services where we build some 100 plus bots as part of their transformation journey. But over the period of time, the customer decided they want to move from the open source platform to kind of they want to move to ServiceNow. So what did we do? Now this 100 plus bots what we have developed has to fit and adapt into that specific space. I cannot ask the customer I will start redeveloping the bots from scratch. Then I will put my customer back in the reverse timeline of 1 year. So we didn't take it as a challenge. We consider this as an opportunity. That is where we build a solution called a bot migrator solution, through which we migrated the all existing bots which is in the open source platform into ServiceNow seamlessly, and thus we leverage the most efficient and affordable way of delivering our AI and automation services to the clients. So this is one such experience that we come across, and that's how we cope up with evolving the technology in our product areas.
Sure, thank you, Vignesh. I'm taking the next question that we got. These are all pre-submitted question, and I again encourage all to put any additional question in the chat. The second question was, from your experience, what are most significant challenge in deploying and implementing AI solutions, AI services, or AI product within an organization? So, Karthi, do you want to take this up?
Yeah, sure, Debo. Then yet another interesting question. So resonates well with what we deal in our day-to-day
Exactly.
work that we do. So, see, the significant challenge that comes to my mind is something at an organization level, the expectation versus the readiness of the organization to take up the AI journey, right? Everybody wants to do something big bang and then be the competitors in every other field or the problem statement they wanted to solve. But the reality check is what is needed at this point in time, right? So we need to have a formal, probably an assessment kind of a thing, which will give the asset state. Where is that organization today, say in terms of various parameters, and what is the realistic outcome that can be expected with this current thing that is there in the landscape, and what could be the benefit that can be anticipated. This is the reality check that is needed. Now, when I talk about reality check, so being from a data engineering practice, I would take an example from the data side of it as well. We all know that AI solution or an AI service is as good as its data. Junk in, junk out. That's as simple as we get, right? But when it is about AI solution, data's importance is much more. That to a quality data in volume. That speaks in itself. So what we do in our practice, so probably let me show a very quick glimpse of something really interesting. Okay, so when it comes to data, we always deal with our metadata and then hell a lot of data that is around us. And when we wanted to measure the data quality, we always need to have a ways and means in our portfolio or in Kitty that, okay, how we do measure it or how do we get the data quality out of it. So there are so many parameters in which we can measure the data quality. And of course, not just the data quality aspect of it, but we can also look at various statistical forms, okay, just to get a hold of the data. Now, with all of these things being there in our armory, then we should be in a real position to measure where are we today in terms of data quality and what are the recommendations that will take us to the next phase, okay, so that what we build makes a lot of sense. So in my suggestion at a high level, we should have a focused data engineering practice with all these frameworks, accelerators, solutions which will aid the entire team and the stakeholders to take us to the AI journey that we are talking about. Probably Vignesh, you can also add on top of this with all your experience.
Yeah, sure, Karthik. So, in terms of, as you touched upon data, right? So, in terms of the implementation challenges that we foresee, right? So, one of the fundamental challenges is in terms of adhering to the security and governance, right? So, again, I'll come back to the technology evolving space because there is asymmetric speed in the security and governance, while the organizational structures for risk management, legal review, policy making evolve linearly wherein the technology is evolving exponentially. So, establishing a governance structure that uses security by design approach is very essential to success. So, from the beginning, we have to incorporate the security by design starting from throughout the AI lifecycle that we develop. And we also need to have a sanctioned environment by providing enterprise grade security tools such as private instance of models where data is safeguarded and usage can be tracked rather than providing a outright prohibition on AI.
Mostly the security is not an afterthought anymore. It's by design.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and in fact, this is, I mean, what Vignesh and Karthi said. I think these are our top two challenges that we keep facing in any implementation we go for. Like there are cases where only getting security approval took 9 months to proceed and then implement a solution in the ecosystem. So this is really something we really need to think through and design it. So I'll get into the next question. um, okay, this question talks about what is your perspective on the growth potential of AI assisted services and AI product in the current and near future market? I think Rakesh, you would be the best person to answer because you are leading the consulting group. So why don't you answer this?
Yeah, sure, Debashree. Yeah, I think too. I mean, when I was looking at the recent the customer connect, the one of the thing that I'm able to understand that is now the customer is really getting confidence in the basically the new development that is happening in AI automation space. They are getting more confidence in the technology. The reason why I'm saying is. Earlier it was like when you say AI implementation is all about you talk about POC, right? I mean, that's the word that we used to hear, and basically we deploy a non-production environment. It is not really, I mean, in some cases it's going to production deployment. That is not actually happening in the past, but now with the tech technologies, advanced technologies that I mean, they're getting more confidence now. That's where we are seeing more from POC. Now the pilot is getting the trend that we are having it. More and more pilot use cases are getting deployed, and that is actually showing the confidence the customer is having. And with the when you look at it again, what is the kind of trend that I see? So one of the current trend itself is basically the customers are looking for how we can leverage the current technology to make the end user experience better. That is mainly what we call it as a term is hyper personalized experience. That is the one of the spaces growing, where it is like the automation is not just don't just only something that bring efficiency or cost saving. It is more to also provide a better end user experience. Then an example, if you look at it, the common one that we always, I mean, that we are implementing also, that we use to get it, the AI agents, virtual chatbot. Now with the Gen AI, it is more powerful. It's not like the previous chatbots where it's more rule based, and if you're asking some question, sometimes you'll say that I don't know, right? I mean, it is not giving proper responses. Now it is more personalized. When I say personalized, the chatbot is actually saving the conversation as well. It is having the memory basically, so that whenever there are previous instance of talk is there, it is able to understand. If I'm raising a request, I have a problem with the laptop. Basically, it can look at all the problems that I have, whether you have got a new laptop or that kind of a context it is having. So it is able to actually not asking 100 questions to the user back. I have the data. I can use that to basically provide a proper response. So that end user experience is going to be better, right? That is one thing. And another thing that I see that is going to be a trend is using of AI agent and especially multi-agent it will come to the play, right? So what is the advantage is that there are a lot of use cases that we used to, in the past, we used to identify that we say that it is automatable, but partially. But now that will become fully automatable. The reason is now we have the technology in place, the multi-agent thing. Every agent is having different skills working together like a human to provide a complex automation. So when you do complex automation, you are able to get into more and more area which is not possible in the traditional automation, right? So that is the one change that I see, and I see that will be going forward. And we know that there are a lot of frameworks also coming and getting into the standardized, and I see there is a progress of AI there. And in fact, when you're looking at the automation, how our customers are considering automation. Earlier, it was, as I said, it is more focused on cost saving, efficiency, all those kind of a benefit. Now they are looking at automation as an enabling innovation, and basically how my company can be competitive with other. If I don't have proper automation in place, I may not be missing out on the competition, right? That is where they are looking at, and that is, it's a good thing for a service providers to better talk to them and get it real, right? And in fact, when I was looking at some of the Gartner analyst report also, how I see that in future, what one of the report is saying in 2027, it is going to be the AI market, right? AI services market is going to be crossing 400 billion. So that is a significant market share there. So we have a play there, right? So that is something I would say it is something that we see AI is going to be there, and it is going to be giving a better return of investment.
And I think I totally agree, Rakesh. And in fact, extension to what you said, I guess the newer role coming up, right? Like few months before we were talking about prompt engineering or prompt engineers, right? Now another thing catching up is context engineering and context engineers. So which meaning more and more people are trusting AI. So today they trust the recommendation piece. Obviously, it will take some time when they trust the action by AI agent, and slowly we move into autonomous. However, I always have this point of view that it will never be only AI, it will always be human driven AI. So even though a lot of growth we see with AI services, it is not without human, it is with human, right? So there is one more question we have in chat from Lavanya. She's saying, I am a ServiceNow AI application developer, and I have been exploring how AI can enhance enterprise workflow on the Now platform. I'm really curious to learn how your team is leveraging AI with the platform. Could you share some AI-driven solutions or use cases you have implemented with ServiceNow at your organization? I would love to understand how you are applying these capabilities in real world scenario. I think it's really interesting question, Lavanya. And like you, my team also initially had this question, and now because they are expert, I think they can now answer your question. So why don't Vignesh you take up, because it's your area.
Yeah, thank you, Devam. A wonderful question, Lavanya. So again, ServiceNow is being a pioneer and the leader in the AI platform, right? So we upskill and we have our pool of engineers who are certified and core ServiceNow developers. And nevertheless, we do also have MVP available within our team. And we are also constantly working with ServiceNow as our build platform. And we develop our solutions leveraging now AI platform capabilities such as predictive intelligence and now versus capabilities using AI agents and flow designer. So using all these modules, we develop AI agent solutions for our internal as an organization for Astreya, plus to our customers who are all in ServiceNow as a platform. Okay. Since you asked for a few use cases or ideas, I will not be able to tell or showcase something which we develop for the customers. But rather, what I would love to showcase to you is we are also developing solutions for ServiceNow in terms of AI and agent builds for their marketplace. So if you allow me, I'll just quickly share my screen and I will let you know the stuffs which we are developing for ServiceNow as the build partner. Let me know once my screen is visible. Yeah.
Yes, you can see.
Thank you. So basically, this is the store platform for ServiceNow, where the developers can contribute by developing AI agents or automation solutions or platform applications for ServiceNow, supporting their ecosystem. So through which, in last 2 months, we have developed two solutions leveraging AI. In order to know much in details, all you can do is you can just go to this AI marketplace of ServiceNow, just type our company name Astreya. So it will take you to the actual applications which we hosted. As you can see, currently we build two AI agents applications, which contributes of 7 unique AI agents under of these two applications. One is Astrex, the other one is the AI agent attachment summarizer. I'll just quickly touch base upon this use case, which is basically the attachment summarizer. So what it does is basically whenever there is a pool of attachments comes to your ticket, right? So it will be pain for an engineer to open each and every attachment to understand the problem statements or the reference statements associated to the problem. So instead, we leverage the Novosis capability and we build AI agent which summarizes all these attachments and guides the operational engineers in terms of the problem summary, and so that he or she can take the next step of actions by providing them the guided resolutions or giving them the reference knowledge articles or suggesting them with resolution agents which can go and resolve these tasks. So the advantage of this AI agent by publishing in marketplaces, right? Tomorrow from your organization, you can also download this by requesting the get button so that it will be available inside your instance, which means day one this application is available for you to consume and use. You don't need any other configurations or say external development that we need to do unless you have some custom specific requirements for the customizations. So that is the beauty of this specific application or the AI agent. So on day one it is available to use, and moreover it is developed in a self-service fashion wherein you get all the details associated with this specific application, right? You can talk about you can see about the installation guide, how to install and configure, what are all the licensing requirements that you need in terms of ServiceNow. As you rightly asked, what are all the modules that I need? So the module informations, all these details are available. And on above top of this, if you need further assistance, you can always contact us with aisupport@astreya.com, wherein we would love to engage with you and enable you with the specific AI agents for your requirements. Hope that answers your question.
Perfect. So because we have 3 more minutes, I think I'll take one more question. Balvin has a question. Question is, should all AI-driven automation decisions require a human override option, or how are we validating AI decisions? Very interesting question. Now, to talk like what really the thumb rule is, if you are dealing with sensitive activities, okay, suppose if you are in a healthcare or if you are in a financial if you are doing anything related to financial scope, it is advisable that you have human in loop, because like we are talking AI, we are talking about data quality, everything is all right, but you still need to consider the hallucination part of it. So there is still a chance that you get a hallucination, and that meaning there is still a chance, because of hallucination there is a wrong decision made and wrong action. If you make it autonomous, wrong action can be taken. That's where, when you are dealing with very highly sensitive kind of activities, complex activities, you should have human in loop to take the final decision and then act. While there would be certain activities, certain tasks where which is very much procedural, or which is very standard in a way and recurring in a way, has less risk when you run it autonomously. There you may not need a human in loop. What you can bring there is the feedback loop, meaning if they feel that yes, this I'm continuously giving thumbs up, meaning more and more my confidence score is going up, and then you can take a decision that after say 95%, it can actually autonomously run, right? So depending on the use case you are dealing with, you need to take a decision where you really need a human in loop or human oversight, and where you can still go ahead and give some control to AI. But end of the day, you need to have proper monitoring in place to really review and validate that whatever your AI agent has done so far, is it in line? Is it actually in line with your objective, your final outcome, right? And that's where when I talk about the first question, a lot of KPIs that you need to implement and keep monitoring it, right? So that's one question. We are top of the hour, but what we can do is I have one more question from Shivam. Maybe I'll try to take that. Um, um, how does the platform distinguish between structured and unstructured data during the metadata agent phase, and does it affect downstream agent? Karthi, do you want to take up this quickly, and maybe rest of
Yes.
the question we take
Probably
off?
let me answer it at a probably at a high level. Glad to see that there is a traction on the solution. So the metadata, when it is being treated on an unstructured, so probably there are two more things, right? Semi-structured data and unstructured data, which is quite complex, tricky. But right now the platform handles semi-structured data, where it flattens the semi-structured data, convert it to a, as much as possible as a structured data, and then the downstream agents work on top of it. But when it comes to unstructured data, there is a separate solution that we have which treats it differently. So but the complexity varies, and the downstream agents also has an impact based on the structure or unstructured data it deals with.
Yep, that's great. So I think we actually used 1 minute more, and I think there are great questions. There were many other questions by Bala Subramaniam. So thanks for joining the call. We'll take up. We'll try to answer that offline. And I again encourage everyone, whoever has any specific question, please leave it in the chat. We will come back. And I think next what we would definitely do, again having much more interactive sessions where it is two-way, we are not just talking. So stay tuned. We will connect back once again. Thanks everyone. Have a nice day and evening.